The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply. Alright, so this is the Flogcast for round 11. The KFC muncher from Richmond, Starburns, is here, and I'm joined by the Mayor of East Geelong, Teach.
Oh, we're from Tiger Land. The Fighting Fury, we're from Tiger Land.
Jumped on another bandwagon. We also, once again, have our member of the Hawthorn 48% Penal.
G'day.
We have our St Kilda umpire basher, Cookie.
Hello.
And joining us from the Elizabeth Street 7-Eleven, we have our Norf Flog, Dan.
You guys are getting worse. I've been gone for like 2 or 3 weeks and this thing's gone backwards.
Yeah, well, Dane hasn't been on since we started the Goo or Tears segment, so clearly that's his gripe. We will start with the Goo or Tears, though. Who wants to go first?
I will happily goo first. Sean Makers is now our best forward. Yeah, a lot of goo there. Hodgepodge's thread is vindicated. That's my goo for the week.
Wouldn't that be Tears?
No, it'd be Tears if he was playing in defence, but he's really found a role up forward.
It'll be Tears later, Dane. Don't worry. Wait till finals come and he lets his man kick goals on him.
Not a chance.
Stupid sexy
He's a
plangers.
natural forward. Teach just wants to, suck his dick, but...
Yeah, who wants to go next?
I have Goo.
Oh, well, it was...
Shut the fuck up, Teach. I'm talking.
Oh, okay, cunt, go.
I have Goo for Tony Lockett being inducted as a legend into the Hall of Fame.
He's a great Sydney
Oh, yes.
footballer, wasn't he?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. He only did 2 things in Sydney. All the rest were in St Kilda, and he's well deserved. But
Did he even
probably
play a
the best
final at St
footballer
Kilda?
ever.
He played a grand final at Sydney.
Got the Brownloads, the All Australians.
Oh,
All he did in Sydney was
I
kick
didn't
it
even
behind
know
and
Plugger
kick
played
a
for
goal.
St Kilda.
No,
Now you do.
yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just a Sydney
Well, you know.
player. Oh, there you go.
There was a pig named Plugger. He ran onto the ground at the St Kilda game once. That's what I remember.
Teach or Dan, does anyone have a Goo or Tears?
Yeah, I got go. North's victory in a hurricane win in Tassie. The sort of win that Trent Cotchin would have loved to have kicked into. Yeah, huge win. I didn't think North would kick a goal in the last quarter.
It's like one of the kicks with the Eagles player who went straight up and beautiful marked out Yo, who was about 10 metres away or something like that.
Boomer
Oh, yeah,
kicked one in
some
the air
kicks-
that nearly came back to him, I think. Or
There was
Swans.
more than one that went backwards.
Mm.
Some of those.
Was Mrs. Boomer at the ground farting, so that's the reason why it was strong wind?
Teach.
I've got Goo and Tears. My nephews, who I actually love, they're Essendon supporters, and we absolutely smacked the bejesus out of them. And
Yeah.
so my Goo is how well we beat Essendon. But my Tears is for my nephews. I don't know where Essendon is going. They just look like absolute rubbish right now.
I have a quick question. How do you not kick a single goal and a half a footy at Etihad Stadium, no matter who you are?
Yeah, they're rubbish. They are absolute, utter rubbish.
No, but my point is even rubbish sides can kick a single goal and a half a
Carlton.
footy. Carlton, yeah. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're Hawthorn or Carlton. You could kick one goal in a half,
we
surely.
went goalless in the first half against the Dogs at Etihad in 2009, so
Shut
it's
up,
not
Penal.
unprecedented.
We made a lot of teams go goalless in a half when we were in dominant, so...
Yeah,
it
and you
happens.
kicked 3 goals for that half as well at the same time.
But at the Dome, though, where there's no weather-affected footy at all.
Yeah, we fucked them. We absolutely fucked them for a half.
This was by the Concerning Cats too. But yeah, I'll just go with simple Goo. Richmond.
That was gooey. That was great.
Oh, go
And-
you Tigers!
Yeah, that's all I can say.
I think we've managed to answer
did you
Network
tear up a
Nerd's
bit?
question from last week because he asked who was Teach jumped on.
Oh,
and
yes.
Teach wasn't here to answer that, and he's answered that comprehensively tonight. Teach has jumped on the Richmond bandwagon.
He's off North. He's off Concerning Cats. He's jumped to Richmond, so it's no more bandwagon. It's a Tiggy train.
Yeah, sorry,
and
sorry,
Teach
Dan.
is the
Sorry,
conductor.
Dan. I'm off the North
Oh,
bandwagon. I'm on the
happy to see it go. I
I'm on
never-
the Tigers. I'm on the
Never endorsed
Tigers
it in the
now.
first place. See you later.
He's going to take us all the way to a prelim. Gonna know what it's like to be a Dogs fan.
Come on, you Tigers.
Gonna have to win a final first to get there.
Well, we got Teach on board, so all's okay. We will go with the first game, which is North over West Coast down in Tassie in the wind. Brad Scott week took one hell of a turn in so many ways.
It
We
was
did
a
it without
pretty
Brad.
decent game to watch.
Did it without our spineless coach.
Yeah, well, no, actually,
Yeah,
he was on the phone, though. He was coaching on the phone, and the definitive moment of that game was about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, where shit wasn't going well, and Crockers just turned to the guy with the phone and said, fuck this, picked it up, opened the window, and thrown it out onto the ground, and North piled on the goals just before three-quarter time.
It was a bit of a dodgy game. North were pretty lucky just to get over the line.
Games played with a breeze blowing like that can be highly entertaining as long as your
Yes.
captain doesn't choose to kick against it.
North really finished that game strongly. I think it was 4-3 in the last quarter against the Wind, and that was really
that win was atrocious.
very
Absolutely
impressive
atrocious.
performance by them to close out the game.
Higgins probably played his best game in blue and white.
He did.
He did.
And
he's played a few good games already this year too to go so that's not like saying this was Liam Jones's best game at Carlton. This is actually saying that's actually something to say that Higgins played.
He's been pretty good all year,
Yeah.
really. He's probably been our most consistent player.
He has, and he's offered you exactly what the media thought he would offer, as opposed
He's
to
offered a lot more than what a lot of the Bulldogs posters were saying.
yeah,
during
well,
the preseason.
exactly. Everyone said you got these old hacks. You got Waite and you got Higgins, and Waite's kind of done what everyone expected from Waite. He's bobbed up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Occasionally, he's made some shit decisions. He kicked no goals on the weekend and fucked the X's. But Higgins is actually
Why did you wear the Velociraptor?
Teach, that's because they were commemorating the release of Jurassic World. It's a
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
movie, and there's a lot of supporters in North who enjoy it.
Because we've got the Velociraptor claw on our jumper. It's got nothing to do with Indigenous round at all. We just want to embrace Jurassic Park and all that shit.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You'd
Fuck
do
that.
anything for money, you fucking tin pot club.
Yeah, we'll even embrace psychopathic supporters and take their money.
don't you talk about anything for money, Penal, because we'll come to your club and talking points.
Yeah, fucking idiot.
But well, this is North we're talking about, so they made a theme jumper. North aren't about to make a theme jumper and only wear it once.
Unless we can make some money out of it.
Yeah.
And you know what? We might even wear it next week.
But didn't they wear the same jumper last year as well?
No, it's a
I
different
don't
design.
know. No. But
Yeah, they did. No, it was basically the same.
It was slightly altered though. It was a little
A
different.
lot of teams wore the same jumpers in Indigenous round. We didn't discuss this last week. Geelong bought back the Wingdings jumper, and a few other clubs did that. Yeah.
Did Sydney go with the Pac-Man again?
No, they got Goods' mum to design it as they normally do.
fucking goods, mum. Jesus.
Anyway, we're getting a bit off track. North versus West Coast. What do we think?
It wasn't a bad game actually. And
we still talking about the North West Coast game?
Yes.
Yes, we are. Shut up,
Okay.
dickhead.
Hey,
And North actually played really well. I mean, West Coast are a really good side.
Yeah.
So,
For the injuries West Coast have had, they've done pretty good.
Yeah, considering they lost their best
considering-
two key defenders, it hasn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
increased
exactly.
McGovern's development, and a few other players have done well. But yeah,
But
There was
good
one-
on North. Yeah, North won the game, and they deserved to.
I'd like to go bits of goo or tears, a bit extra goo or tears, just for the last quarter. In that last quarter, bit of goo. Zeeble played well. He did some
Oh,
immense
did he?
things
What?
and
Yeah.
helped turn that game. But the tears is for that little cunt, Boomer Harvey, who...
hang on.
Oh, fuck off.
No, that
I've
was
got-
fucked up, man.
That
No,
was-
according to Suze on Twitter, Predators dropped the ball and it was an according 50-meter penalty.
No,
Here's the thing.
Boomer is a dirty diving cunt.
Well, far be it to argue with an umpire.
Yeah. The
He's
umpire
not.
knew.
He's a fucking champion, and he can all go and get fucked.
The umpire
Boomer's
knew
a
he
cunt.
fucked
I
up.
hope he doesn't get to 400 games.
The umpire knew he got conned, which is why it was a 25-meter penalty. penalty. What Boomer did in that game was essentially what Luis Suarez did in the fucking World Cup a few years ago.
You're
Handball.
you're comparing
Luis Suarez.
Yeah,
diving.
bro, it was a
No.
cheeking cunt move, but it was a good move, and I applaud him for doing it.
Boomer's a little rodent.
It's
How
a
can you
dick move,
compare
but
that
Yeah.
to diving? No way.
That was a cheap way to get a 50. That was fucked up, man.
I
Yeah,
agree
it's
with
cheap, but it's not- it's
I
not
agree with
diving
Dan.
cheap.
No, I agree with Dan. Boomer is a lot worse than Suarez.
It's worse than diving. Boomer is worse than Suarez, yes.
You
Well,
can
he
all
hasn't
go
been
and get
anyone yet.
fucked. Boomer's a champion.
And not only Boomer doesn't bite people, Boomer tries to strangle them too. Which one tries to kill people, the other just tries to give them rabies.
Boomer, stop being a cunt. You fucking cunt.
Anything else out of that game?
Fuck off, Cookie, you dickhead.
Brad Scott, anything on that?
Spineless.
I reckon Brad Scott didn't have a spinal
Whoa,
injury
what?
because
So-
he was
so-
banned for going into Tasmania.
There's a theory
Brad
behind that.
Scott.
Oh.
I mean, as far as I can work it out, his mum has disassembled the bunks, and they're all on the bottom floor.
Dan, just a question. How did the Nick Nat versus Goldstein duel go?
Oh, I think Goldstein got the points comfortably.
I think Nick Nat
It's a
took more
good
marks
ju-
inside
It's a good
50.
duel. Yeah, but who had more hitouts to advantage and who kicked goals and who influenced the game?
I don't know.
That's a very mainboard question. Oh, I don't know. It was
It doesn't matter because neither of them are the All-Australian ruckman. That is Shane Mumford.
what?
Yes.
Surely Sandy's got everyone covered so far this year.
Well, he won so many hitouts on Friday night that meant fuck all.
Which ruckman's got the most coach votes?
The fucking Blixos have got them all covered.
It's not a ruckman though.
Fucking.
Come on.
We're all having a sensible discussion, and Teach comes.
Then
in
you
and
bring up
fucking
Blitzards. Come
played ruck rover all year.
I didn't even fucking mention Segler, and you start the go train.
Oh, Segler's going fucking fantastic.
You want to know who the worst ruckman in the competition is?
Carlton.
Ace
Bell
Cordy?
Chambers.
Yeah, Ace Cordy has to be.
I would go Tom Bell Chambers.
Oh, yes.
He's high.
Yes.
We'll come to Bell Chambers when we come to Essendon, but we will move on to... Well, hey, we don't talk about Freo often, but hey, just like round 21
We don't have to
last year,
discuss
and
it.
just like last year's semi-final,
We can skip this
week
game entirely.
was an entertaining Freo game, and they're
They
always entertaining when Freo
No,
roll.
we're
They
not
kicked
skipping
less
this
than
game.
100 points. They kicked less than 100 points. So I think we
Yeah, but
can-
Freo
we
got
can skip this
smashed.
game.
Yes, when Freo lose, it's an entertaining Freo game because usually the other team does something, and it was.
There's
it
no
was-
need for you to be biased just because Richmond won. We can skip this game.
No, Let me give some credit to Richmond. Credit's due. I called them Fremantle light last week, and I was misguided because they came out and they kicked 8 goals in the first quarter. Very impressive performance by them.
Yeah, it was great to watch, and it would have been even better to watch if it weren't for those fucking commentators.
I was in my
Oh,
car. really
yes,
careful.
didn't they just...
They were a big
weren't
gooey.
they just a pack of fucking moaning bitches?
I don't care if he lives in Perth and knows all the players'
We have to give
backstories to the nth degree, but Basil Zemplis should not be near a Friday night game at all.
He should not be near any game unless he's fucking commentating the Oz kick at halftime.
We should at least have him on a Saturday afternoon where there's another game you can watch, not the Friday night game where they're actually told to stink it up more than normal. Like, Basil Zemplis just makes you realise how bad Bruce isn't.
His nose
Well,
was
I
so
think-
far up Freo's ass. It was unbelievable.
His nose and his nose can
Big
go a
up.
fair way.
I think that I said it before, that his name's Basil, so he's obviously a cunt. Go Tigers! That was a fantastic result.
And even Cameron Ling's been turned into a caricature as well. Lingy's a goo chugger commentator now.
It's fucking like Fife is now getting the Judd and Ablett treatment,
And
where every
Rioli.
time he goes,
It
every
reminds
time
me
he
of
goes,
the Rioli treatment, actually.
yeah, but that's only from Bruce. But Fife,
He was
you
pretty
know,
good, though.
He was, but he wasn't the best
You
player
know.
around. He wasn't the second best either. Or
But he
third.
just gets the ball, and the commentator's going like, "Oh, Fife, what's he gonna do now?" And then he gets away with so much. Like he's getting the Judd treatment from the umpires as well. He had like
Uncharacteristic
six
turnaround.
times when he should have been pinged holding the ball, and I don't think he got done for one of them because he just drops the ball, chucks it out, and the umpires just call play on because it's Fife.
He got done once and they booed. It was actually pretty funny. But yeah, anything else on that game?
I nearly crashed my
just
car
on-
when I heard the score. I was just driving along, having my Slurpees, and I got on the score. I was like, oh shit, worse than Teacher's bandwagon crash last year.
It was a really, really good game to watch.
Oh, it was. It was very good to
If
watch.
you hate the commentary, and I'm in the same boat, I think Channel 7's is terrible, you have to petition to Foxtel and ask them to bring back the red button option. So you just
Yeah.
turn off the commentary entirely, but you still hear the surround sounds of the stadium and the umpires. And
That's a good point. Let's add that to our No
Hey,
Carlton on Friday night petition.
I'd rather have
Sound-
fucking
sounds
S
like a
Red for
good-
Ed
Good
than
idea,
Basil.
good idea.
Well, that was basically what we got with Basil.
Yeah, but Eddie's all right if he's not commentating Collingwood.
Yeah,
Basil's terrible for everyone.
That's entirely true. He's the worst going around. He's probably worse than BT. Let's go to, well, Judd got a mention before, and I think, well, is this the end for Judd?
It's a sad way to go.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, very
Even
sad.
though he is a dirty, rotten player, he's a...
It's a pretty sad way to go playing for Carlton at the moment anyway, but
That's true.
Perhaps.
No, he's been a great player.
it's easy to forget how good he was at West Coast.
Yeah.
I know. He was just absolutely fantastic at the West Coast, and he was great at Carlton too. But
He got a bit of umpire love there, an uncharacteristic turnover. But
oh well, if he's finished now, that's pretty sad. It's
What's
pretty
his
sad.
body?
What's
the motivation to play on for another year at Carlton?
barbecues?
A metric fuck ton of cash.
Brown
More
paper bags.
Sausages.
Recycled
Yes.
brown paper bag.
Doesn't the Vizzy deal for him sort of finish it?
It's already finished.
It's already finished?
Yeah.
Well,
Not much reason to play on then.
Let's move on from that to some happier news, and that was Carlton got close but lost still.
Geez, they played well. Carlton played really well.
yeah,
I
but they
thought
still lost.
Yeah, that's
I
what's
thought
good.
they were a shout to win the game.
They played
And-
pretty decently.
That's the best game Casbolt's ever going to play in his career too, so that's kind of funny. They didn't win.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so, did,
exactly.
so did the supporters. The supporters thought they were in with a chance, and then they had their hearts broken. It was delicious.
Well, only the supporters that were there, because there were more Crows fans. Like, literally, you could see it on the TV, and they said it at the ground. There were just about as many Crows fans there as Carlton.
All the Crows fans wanted to travel to Melbourne because you're not rated as a supporter unless you go to Melbourne.
But yeah, Eddie went goalless. It was a good week for Carlton, bad week for the X's. They got a win over the X's. Their first win in Australia, Carlton. They got a win over the X's. And yeah, Eddie went goalless, and
I actually wanted them to win.
oh, you're a bad person then.
Oh,
Why would you want Carlton to win,
Yeah.
Teach?
Oh, just, they were just trying their guts out. And
Yeah, that's irrelevant, though.
You sure it wasn't
whether
because you
they're
had
prime
like
or
a joke? Did you have a
It's Carlton.
joker in your like your 5-man tipping comp? If Carlton won, you get an extra tip or something.
no, one of my best friends barracks for Carlton.
not? And you
I-
give
I
them shit
just-
about having a 2:00 song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted. I wanted him to have a little bit of joy, and
No,
they fucked. And
If you choose to barrack for Carlton, you deserve nothing.
Mm.
Harsh but fair.
I've watched the last quarter of this. I snuck into the ground.
Do you take a chicken with you?
No. Bought chips. But yeah, the face is disappointing when we just made the food I was eating a hell of a lot tastier.
It was funny to see it come from Jenkins as well, the unlikely source to roll them, and just the fact that, and this is kind of funny, this shows where Carlton are at, that when they jumped out to the early lead, Adelaide was shit and they couldn't get it past Cade Simpson. He went off the ground for 2 minutes and Adelaide kicked 4 goals in the first quarter.
I know.
Simpson's just about the oldest player left on their list once Judd's gone. That just shows where Carlton's at, that the only guy who stemmed the tide for them at the weekend is like 33.
Still don't rate
gonna
Adelaide
be-
up this
They're
win.
going to lose Lockie Henderson at the end of the year and a couple others as well.
That's all right, because Casbolt's going to be a star, apparently.
Yeah, it's going to be more spoon music down at Carlton.
Some poor number 1 pick's going to get Gibbs or Murphy or Drewsy.
Yeah.
Who would take Henderson? I know I wouldn't because he looks like he's been Carltoned.
If Clangermakers is your best forward, you would take Henderson.
Geelong is a beautiful place
Shut-
to dump crap key position players and get good draft. Speaking from experience.
Oh,
No,
fuck off.
Starburns, Schoenmakers is miles ahead of Henderson on this year's output, and you can't disagree with that because it's true. On this year's output,
One's playing for Carlton, the other's playing for Hawthorn.
yeah,
Yeah, that's apples and oranges.
one's playing a team full of superstars like Bruce, Gunston, and Roughhead, and is the best of that lot. The other's playing in a team full of guys like Casbolt, and is not even the best because Casbolt's clearly the best.
Carlton don't move it past the fucking centre.
You fucking wanker.
Anyway, let's move on if we've got nothing else on Carlton Crows.
Nope.
All right,
No.
let's go to today's game, or the game earlier today, the Queen's birthday game, and the Queen was on show, Jack Watts. Well,
It was a big weekend for Watts. I mean, the 6th anniversary of his debut. His relatives had his first photo taken. I mean, his grandkids. It was a pretty wonderful weekend, actually.
yeah, Theon delivered. Dropped that one-handed mark in the goal score at a crucial time.
Oh, that was pathetic.
Go drop yourself again, Mods.
Go lie on yourself.
Go.
When you say that, no, you see your avatar light up. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But it was funny to see fucking romping wins afterwards acknowledge it as, oh, it was an awkward moment for Watts. It's kind of like, no, it makes it sound like it was like Watts just queefed in front of everybody and it got noticed. It was just like that's what awkward sounds like, not fucking dropping a one-handed mark and softly giving up the ball. It's
Melbourne were decent on the whole for 3 quarters.
They were. It was a good game. It was a real.
It was all right. It was an all right game, but you always thought that Collingwood were going to win.
Yep.
And the Neanderthal at full forward.
Yeah, he kicked straight.
He made the game, didn't he?
He cashed in today.
I mark. I kick goal. Yeah. So
Smoking shadows behind the mirrors.
I kick 1, 2, 3, lots of goals.
how many past 3? I don't know.
Give me $5 bill.
Anything else on that game, or
Sam Newman was very disturbing wearing the mankini.
he did have something on underneath. He had a skin-coloured thing.
Yeah, not on the arse though, which was disturbing.
No, not on the ass. But that was all for a good cause. That was entertaining enough.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
They
A lot
should
of money
do that.
raised.
Yeah.
They should do that annually.
Yeah, and with the ice, I'm surprised they didn't get Dane Swan, Dustin Martin, or actually just on this. Did anyone catch Richo's post-match interview with Dustin Martin on Friday night?
No.
He asked him, "Where are you going, Dusty?" He goes, "Oh, I don't know yet." And he goes, "Be good." It was just like some parent telling a kid, don't you go out on the shard, boy.
What's sound advice? I would have thought.
Richo could have seen things that she'd never even seen.
But yeah, anything else on the Queen's birthday game?
God save the Queen.
Well,
Or
you might get dropped.
The fascist regime.
She ain't a human being.
Saw this harsh on Jack Rots.
Well, Jack's not a human being. Jack's been Theon Greyjoy.
You tilt one of Cloke's favourite $5 bills to the side, it actually looks like you've got a whale eating the Queen.
Actually, if you,
I thought it was meant to be the Twin Towers or something.
No,
That's a whale son.
No,
That's a
smiling
US
Buddha.
Actually,
Oh,
if you fold a $5 note properly, it
One
looks
thing I
like that,
did-
Armitage and Revolt.
it looks like
Penal
that
and
she's
Teach.
sucking a cock.
One
Jesus,
thing I
John
did
Makers.
notice, because we talked about last week how Ruse never takes responsibility, and he said today that the D's lost because they didn't listen to him, and just once again shifting the blame to the players.
There was a loose man in defense. He didn't do that. Bruce was a fucking idiot.
Ruse just he's
Teflon.
making mistakes in the coach's box, and he's trying to shift them all into the players.
He's shifting the blame like the expert at it, and we will move on to the next game. The expert at shifting the blame, James Hurd, who is once again blaming Wada for going goalless for an entire half. Wada kept them goalless. It wasn't the concerning Cats defence, it was Wada.
That is impossible to do at that stadium, no matter who you are, to not kick a single goal and a half.
It's fucking shitful. It is an indictment, and yet Carlton have kicked goals and a half. GWS haven't gone goals and a half, I think.
Our game plan can be good depending on who we're playing against.
Perhaps if you're playing red and
But
black,
we were
witches hats,
playing against fucking witches hats.
and the worst ruckman in the competition, as got mentioned earlier.
And
And we just kicked
He is the
9
worst
goals.
Holy shit.
Nine goals and a half, and it was like no one needed a shower after the game because
no one broke a sweat.
no one broke a sweat.
Except Hawkins when he saw someone opening a pie in the crowd.
You might
Nah,
be confusing
well,
sweat with draw.
Yeah, it was just anticipation. Just
I took him
I'm-
down. I took him down some Hungry Jacks at three quarter time.
He prefers
Because,
McDonald's, his
didn't
sponsor.
affect his game at all.
Yeah. Because
Sponsorship deal.
he was hungry as. So I took him down some Hungry Jacks. But Jesus, Essendon are fucked.
And let's not forget, Hurd didn't just blame Wada, he also blamed the injury list, which is, I think, 3 players long.
Yeah, who's on there? Zaharakis, who else?
And Fletcher, guys. Like, talk about Carlton being reliant on Kate Simpson, a 33-year-old. Essendon, when they lose their 40-year-old veteran, no Essendon.
Oh, Watson didn't play either, but he's back to being that plotter anyway.
Goddard's turned
Tanya
into
Taylor.
Nick Maxwell.
AOD's one off.
Goddard's has gone back to chip scab status.
He's just pointing around, covering space. I mean, should have stayed at St Kilda. He would have been captain, probably a Brownlow medalist, Norm Smith medalist.
What?
But
Even
we
I
would
don't
wanna-
get this gooey.
Yeah, no, you would know when you're a grand final with Goddard.
Yeah. You're wanking.
He
would've done well.
fucking left after you started the rebuild phase. Like, how is he going to win the flag?
He would have turned into a combination of fucking Fuddy and Gablet if he stayed at St Kilda and remained free from
What?
fucking Kool-Aid.
Oh, you're a fucking
Oh,
wanker.
God.
Shut up.
Free of Kool-Aid, you're clearly not. But heard on the boundary, how was that? Just sitting there with that look on his face. And
A picture tells a million words.
he was shocked to be sitting there. He really was.
He looked like he was suddenly like he's a druggie who's just come down from a massive high and realized how utterly fucked he is.
And they didn't kick a goal until he fucked off back to the box, which that says a lot too.
We probably shouldn't say a lot about James because with those big road areas, he's going to be able to hear what we're saying.
Well, who cares?
Well, who cares?
Tanya's probably taking notes anyway, so
Oh, it's,
Can
We're
just
dealing
imagine
in
Tanya
banter.
just logging onto the bay and wanting to listen to us and just taking notes the whole time.
So is Tanya's strategy?
banter, not slander, man. You can't have it. So you shouldn't say that.
she's an ugly bitch anyway.
She's no Mrs. Boomer.
And on that note, let's move on to the Puffers skied late on the Bulldogs in what was otherwise an entertaining game. Wingard 20 and 3 played the kind of game Rioli wishes he could play.
That was really, really good game of football.
I didn't watch it.
I just see a single second of it.
It was the better of the two on the Saturday night, apart from the car crash factor of the Essendon game.
Yeah, I watched the goals half Essendon Geelong game.
Yeah,
It was funny because it was Essendon.
Yeah. Anyone else watch that game?
The Bulldogs are good.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say Port skied because it was a tight contest and
Oh,
Port
sorry,
just...
they skied late. In the last quarter, they buried.
Yeah, but like they're a little bit because the stats were very even, but Port are maybe a year or two ahead in the development curve, so they just had the class and polish to finish off the game.
They also have a key forward who's not Tom Boyd.
Yeah, but once he comes good, you know, he'll be kicking bags of seven.
If he comes
You
I'll
could
good,
say
have
the
a
same
smoke.
for Jared Waite, though.
Boyd's the new weight.
Maybe.
Which poster made the comment about Boyd's stats the last 4 weeks? I think he's had like 13 disposals and 1 goal.
I think someone needs to start the Tom Boyd finals predictor thread.
But he hasn't kicked a goal against anyone, so everyone's playing finals.
He kicked 3 against us. What does that mean?
Yeah, Petrie went berserk against Hawthorn last year as well.
That's true. Anything else out of that game? Look, Port look to be they're not there, but they're slowly turning the corner, and they might reach that point sometime soon.
Yeah, I reckon Port are on their way back, but that was a great game of footy.
It was much better than the other one.
I think Marto mentioned this when he was on a couple of weeks ago. Ollie Wines is making a huge difference now
Yeah.
that he's back. I think the Richmond game, I think was his first game back.
And he was their best
and he
player.
was the best player, so just gone from strength to strength since then.
He actually does that a whole lot, and it's like he gives them good clearances, good quality clearances. But yeah, let's move on from that. Giants, Bryans, do we have anything out of that game?
Did anyone watch the game?
I watched
No.
it. They're not very good.
Yeah, I watched a bit of
Mitch
that.
Robinson did some stupid shit.
You guys watch footy?
The Giants they're a really good side.
Yeah.
Are they?
They're going to be better than the Gold Coast. I picked that a while ago, though. But
Oh, no doubt about that. They played really well in that game, and they deserve to win.
and Mumford's the All-Australian ruckman, and yeah.
Goldstein.
No, Blitzarves is.
Fuck off.
Get fucked, Blitzarves all Australian.
You're going to be one of them angry Norths at the end of the game.
Oh, did you love Blitzarve's goal on his left foot?
I did like him trolling Essendon on Twitter.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Yes.
Oh, yeah, that was
We
nice.
need to mention that.
Yes, he gave him shit.
Yes, Blixarves did. They tweeted how he's recovered after getting Nick Nat's knee in the back, and all he said was,
Feeling better now, I think.
yeah, after the game. So, yep, troll points for Blixarves there. It's the second year in a row Geelong have trolled Essendon after Hawkins hugged the fan.
Blix is fantastic.
But yeah, I got nothing much on the Giants or Bryans. Bryans aren't very good. Giants might be.
Cameron's great to watch.
Yes, he's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic forward.
What does he see in that organisation? He could go to any club that he wants.
He's getting a shitload of
Guaranteed
money.
premierships, Tam.
Oh, yeah. Cookie, as Cookie said, shitload of cash.
No, but other clubs are offering shitloads of cash too.
Probably not the same level.
No, I think he could get a lot more money at a club that is
Carlton.
currently a bottom feeder like Carlton, because
Yeah, but that's for
Oh, like you want to go and play
no,
Carlton.
if he
Fuck.
wants money, he'll go to Carlton, because GWS are going to have to find a way to pay all their young stars like Smith, Trelaw, Canelio, Shield.
Yeah, and that bloated cap that they've got, it's not going to be forever. I mean, it's going to get smaller and smaller. It's going
I
to
think
be.
they're back on parity already.
Are they?
And I think it's 2017. I think that it's not.
But that's negligible because their list size is bigger. They've still got more players than every other club.
Yeah, I'm not of the view that the expansion clubs are going to be winning premierships. I think they're going to be very good, but I don't think they're showing to be taking the next.
Suns aren't at the moment.
I think GWS are going to win a premiership, but it won't be like the dynasty.
It won't be the
people
5 in a
predicted,
row.
where it's 10 grand finals in a row that's Suns versus Giants, which some doomsayers were predicting.
No,
Won't
it's
be
not going
that.
to be that because the Suns won't be there.
And the Giants won't make 5 in a row.
Probably not. Well, once they get the premierships, they might move on for more money.
Only great teams like Hawthorn make 5 grand finals in a row.
Oh, shut up, you dickhead.
Let's move on to Hawthorn St Kilda. Look, they were always at arm's length, weren't they? But didn't stop Clarko getting melty.
Yeah, he was
happened
ready
there?
to bang the walls in the
Fancy
first half.
that.
So we were...
Clarkson being melty.
The Hawthorn were getting their
what did
kicking
you
for
do?
goal was shit. Like it was beyond appalling.
Well, yeah, we were 5-10 at one point, and then we finished at 20-12. So he was raging when we were 5-10 and put a rocket up him. Obviously, it worked.
What
You
did
wouldn't
he
want
do? Did he punch the walls, or did he
He just had
punch
a
out
really
the water bottle boy, or what?
I think he just yelled into the phone, and like somehow on the other end of the line was James Hurd, just being shocked to sit there.
Why does everybody yell at me? It's not my fault. Well, actually, it is.
I thought taking orders from Neildy was bad enough. Now I get to listen to Clarko yell at me.
Hawthorn really blew that out in the end. It wasn't that much of a smacking until that last quarter. And they turned that into a big win.
Yeah, it was close, and then
It wasn't
the last
close,
quarter,
but it was.
It wasn't
It was
close.
5 goals, and then it became 70 points.
Yeah,
We-
the last quarter it was where they just Hawthorn went bang.
we worked hard, did good contested ball, all that, but Hawthorn were just a class above. I mean, apparently Luke Hodge said, it's really hard work out there, and he was surprised at how much they were leading because we were doing very good. But yeah, Hawthorn are just too good.
Maybe Hodge is nearly washed up.
The Saints dominated the mark count, interestingly. Like, they were chipping it around and having a lot of uncontested ball. So, had to work
They
out.
also Hawthorn dominated the free kick count, so that was why he won.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
If Nick
Like-
Grewal got those free kicks, we would have got 100 free kicks. Beautiful victory.
Oh,
think,
here we go.
I
Fucking
think
free kicks.
the Saints were very undisciplined, and we were unlucky not to have more free kicks because they were very undisciplined, and we should have had a couple more goals from free kicks than we did.
You nearly won by 100 points, so fuck,
No, but
Let's
what
go.
I don't think we'd be fully happy with the way we played the game, because we played in bursts, like one at the end of the second quarter, one at the start of the last quarter, and we played in bursts all year, and
But so
that's
has
what cost
everybody.
us against Sydney and...
Bursts seem to be the new thing.
Still, Rioli gets far too much praise for what he does. I mean, he is a normal tap and a handball
Oh,
that
that
every
was
other player does.
ridiculous.
It's fantastic.
I agree. It was ridiculous. How good was it?
Here's the thing: a Melbourne player did what Cyril did, the two-handed, tunnel ball shit. He gets pinged for throwing.
That was fucking
Cyril,
dumb.
it's creative. Fuck off. He does everything
Oh.
that any other footballer does. He's just an inconsistent fat plod.
Fat.
Did he call him for throwing, or because I only got to see the replay, I thought it was deliberate rush behind that he got pinged for.
No, he
and I
got
was
done
like,
for a throw. He
yes.
scooped it.
because I finally wanted to see an application of the old Hawthorn 2008 rule.
They don't do that anymore. Anyway, let's go to the last game, which is the Colas versus Suns. Look, the Suns remain shit. They're struggling.
Boring.
More drinking up there. That's about
Didn't
it.
watch
They left
it.
it on their fucking bar tab. They didn't pay their bar tab
Slaughter.
until they got caught. And how fucking stupid do you have to be?
Didn't,
Bunch of
didn't
young,
watch
cashed up
1
men on
minute.
the Gold Coast.
Culture.
Didn't watch 1
Smart
minute
idea,
of this
Penal.
game.
Yeah.
So
Gold Coast crowd booed goods.
Oh, did they?
too.
Mm.
Yeah, they
They
did.
booed him.
Yep.
Oh, how terrible!
We're very sad about that, obviously. But yeah,
Poor Adam.
they booed him, so maybe, I guess they're racist too, apparently.
Well, they
Yeah,
are Queenslanders.
Yeah, they are Queenslanders.
I'm sure Robbo
Oh,
will say
yeah.
it's all Hawthorn fans' fault somehow.
Yeah, well, you started it.
Yeah, everyone's just copying the big bad racist Hawthorn fans.
The KKK.
Fucking
Yeah,
Robbo.
yeah, fucking
The
you
whore
pricks.
KKKs.
Do we have any analogies or comparisons of what is as dumb, though, as not paying your bar tab and that's getting caught for drinking when you've got a pact not to drink? Like,
Drinking in front of your coach.
Pissing on the window outside of a bar.
it's Kane Johnson pissing on the police station years ago. That's
Oh, yes.
that's another one. Yeah, just shit like that. Like,
Like burning a midget or something.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's meant to look
Australian
like your coach, symbolise your coach.
They didn't get an injunction. That's what they're getting going wrong. Just go and drink an injunction.
footballers in general are just not very smart. So arm them with money and put
Travis
them in
Cloke,
place.
give him a bunch
Put them
of
in an
$5
environment where there are K Hunts around to lead them astray. Bound to go alright. The one thing that is in Gold Coast favour is that Collar Jasney's going alright. I think he's their best player at the moment. So certain poster will be happy.
I'm just waiting for Gary Ablett to start like a prayer group to fucking do some AA shit or something. I mean, that'll probably work.
Where did I hear that apparently some of their religious nutjob players, Bible bashing players, actually had a part of the reason McKenna got sacked because they didn't like him not being happy with them skipping a few days to go to a fucking churchy.
I heard that. I heard that rumor too. It was on like Twitter or something. It's like apparently like Ablett, it's like May or
Swallow,
Dale.
obviously.
Yeah, Swallow and all that. They
Swallow,
engineered the sacking
Swallow's
move
big on Jesus.
because McKenna wouldn't give him time off during the season to go to Sydney for some fucking hippie,
Hillsong or something.
for some Christian love fest involving fucking probably pedophiles or some shit.
I didn't think that Ablett was
Aaron's
into that kind of shit.
Yeah, he is.
No,
Of course he is.
He
He's
is,
old man.
yeah.
His old man's got a Bible filled with heroin.
Oh, yeah, I know about his old man.
Yeah, that's like the only thing he's taken. That's the only
The
thing
apple
Gary
doesn't
Jr.'s
fall
taken
far
from him is
from
the
the
God
tree.
thing.
Ablett just has him with the cocaine, man. He's like probably the Gold Coast's biggest cocaine dealer now. Just why he's injured.
So they're all big on Jesus, are they?
Yeah, and they live in a city of sin.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Let's move on to the talking points. And I think Penal mentioned before about how Norf will sell themselves to anywhere for $1. Well, Hawthorn have decided to move out of Waverley and they're
Oh, yeah, Dingley.
used to the disgusting smells and they've decided to build on a tip.
Where's this?
Yeah, they're
in
all
Dingley.
There's fucking naked people wandering around the streets in Dingley.
Mate, that was just spanger.
Well, I'm not from Melbourne, so I don't know what Dingley
this
Well,
is
you've
is
got
like.
Google
But,
Maps, don't you?
yeah, no, I mean,
Dingley's
like,
Dingley's a fucking shit.
I
Shithole's giving it praise. It's beyond a shithole. The only good thing about Dingley is it's a mini golf course.
It's worse than Geelong.
It's worse than
Oh,
Seaford.
I don't think it's worse than Geelong.
It's worse than Geelong.
Well,
Oh, fucking Geelong's like fucking paradise next to Dingley.
but is it worse than East Geelong?
Yes.
It's worse than both. At least
Oh.
at least in East Geelong.
It's a tip next to Dandenong. Dandenong is a
At least in
fucking
East Geelong, you
shithole.
throw your rubbish overboard and it floats away. In Dingley, it's still gonna sit underneath your ground, just coming up through the surface.
I mean,
Dingley was one of the only places that I actually got fucking bashed. So, it's a fucking shithole.
How did that come about?
I just wandered
Someone
out
got
of
stuck
the
into
pub.
Gary Ablett and he tried to get stuck into them.
No, I just wandered out of the pub and someone goes, oh, fuck.
Trains of shit.
It was a tism moment. I'll have ya. I'll
was,
have ya. I'll have ya.
were you out at Dingley with the chief, and did he start saying, "Stop hitting him! Stop hitting him"?
Anything else on Hawthorn moving to Dingley? Look, it's
Well, I mean, it's just an option at the moment. So obviously, we're doing like a 18-month environmental assessment or something to see if it's actually safe or not to move down there. I guess.
it's weird that you're going so long term, considering that within 10 years you'll probably be in Tassie already.
You're
We're not-
Yeah,
moved
well,
to Melbourne.
just go to fucking Tassie.
Oh.
Did fucking Dingley's. It's
No,
a
but
There's lots
cut
of
out
room
the
down there
build
to
there.
build without having to.
No, clearly it's a long-term plan because apparently in 2050 Dingley will be at the heart of Melbourne's metropolitan area, and so obviously this is like a long-term vision or something that the club is.
yeah,
The
well,
heart of Metro.
to
You
attract-
realise
Yeah. You'll be able to get fucking ice from anyone on a street corner.
that
Yeah,
explains why they want
but-
to move, man. Luke Hodge's cravings.
No, we'll attract all the Gold Coast players down when they
prefer
come out of
Coke,
contract.
not ice.
They're all
Dustin
pissheads.
Martin then.
They know nothing to.
I reckon if Dustin Martin puts contract talks on hold with Richmond, I think he's got 2 years left to run, and he says I want to go to Hawthorn. It'll be because of this Dingley thing.
He wouldn't know how to sign a contract.
Be a bit like Trav.
Oh, no, he needs his manager.
Be a bit like Travis Cloke signing contract would be like stamping his hand.
No,
really
they use a
inking.
crayon.
I mean, like a shoe sign. Or
Oh, that's
something.
like Sousa's contracts.
Yeah.
No, it's like a it's like a dinosaur footprint. It's got
Well, instead of
Where do I
doing a
sign?
cursive signature, you just do Dustin, but with like the S backwards. Like a fucking 3-year-old.
Anything else on Hawthorn and Dingley?
We've spoken more about Dingley and Dustin Martin than we have about Hawthorn.
But they can be the Dingley Dorks.
Oh yeah,
Dingley
fucking
dogs. I like
real
that.
original that one.
I thought it was alright.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Look,
Shut up, man.
we'll move on to the Hall of Fame and look. There's a couple of risible quips out of the Hall of Fame. The first one being Acker, and Acker believes he's a better coach than half the assistants out there.
Well, he would think that.
Yeah, but self-proclaimed.
Well, he's a fucking big mouth, and he's always been a big mouth.
He might be right though.
I wouldn't have him anywhere near my players at all.
Well, he couldn't do any worse than James Hurd.
We've got to think about
Scott.
Plugger Lockett being a legend, and
his
well
speech was
deserved.
good. I liked his speech.
Yeah, he was great.
He did drop a little quote though that was a bit iffy in the aftermath. Apparently, he thinks Kurt Tippett could turn his career around by playing down back.
I think Kurt Tippett could turn his career around by playing in the Neefle.
That's got Claymaker's potential if Tippett went down back. Really.
Acker as a coach would be brilliant. Would either be incredibly brilliant and will work, or will be such a clusterfuck that it will be hilarious to watch.
Yes, it would be funny to watch somewhere else, but yeah, if he made it work, you'd be a bit envious, but you'd always be iffy.
He would be the perfect
reckon
man
he
for the
would
Gold
be-
Coast, I reckon. He'd turn their culture around.
I reckon he would be an absolute clusterfuck of a coach.
If I was a player and I saw him do a handstand, I'd kick him right in the face.
Yes.
How do you even get the
Yes.
players' respect, though? I mean, if you're a player...
That's the hurdle I would have, I think. There's no questioning his
Do as I
his
say, not as I
his-
do.
his accomplishments as a player, but that's where it ends for mine. He's a mouth,
Yeah.
over opinionated mouth.
Yep, I agree.
Let's go to the next talking point, which is the Coaches Association have told Carlton to stop sniffing around coaches because they've gone ahead and sacked their coach before even the halfway mark, which hasn't happened since, I think, Blight. Or even he got sacked later than this, so they've been told to stop talking to people, even though everyone else has told them to go and get fucked
I
anyway.
reckon that's fair if you have a current coach in place, but if you haven't got one, then surely you're supposed to fill that position by seeking out applicants.
But they're going to be doing this, like, there's 3 months to go in the season. They can't be bothering other clubs just because they can't get their house in order.
No, I disagree. I agree with Dan. I think that they can talk to whoever they want to talk to because they've got to fill that position.
So, Dane, okay, you'd be happy if Tudor was 1 foot out the door?
He wouldn't go to Carlton.
But no, how do you know that?
Or who would want to go to Carlton?
Well, exactly, but then they're just wasting his time if they're talking to him when he could be coaching your team, especially when your coach is in hospital because he's got a bad.
I think he could still manage training and coaching gigs if it meant he had to do one sort of interview with Carlton on the side.
But over 3 months, they're probably going to try and do a few. But
Well, it depends how
Who
interested they are in him, I suppose.
I kind of
Who do
agree with Fife here because I think Carlton should, like you said, you've got a coach. He's coached for the rest of the year. Obviously, you can do your due diligence and internal processes during the year between now and the end of the year. But in terms of actually sounding
there's
out,
no
a coach,
real
just
off-season
save it
for
at the end of the year.
For the football departments, there is no real off-season.
that is a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Because when the footy ends, they've still got to prepare for draft, for trade, for pre-season.
But you've got 4 weeks of finals to do that, where all but 8 clubs have stopped, and every week a
Well,
few less of them.
Maybe they need more time than 4 weeks to find a coach.
So if you were the Carlton president, who would you go after?
Whoever it was, you'd make him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Who's
They,
this?
they did it with Malthouse, and that didn't work, did it?
Stewie Dew knocked it back, right?
Yeah,
For
before they
sure.
even asked him. A few others, Worsfold and a couple of others.
I'd go after
A
Worsfold.
homeless man ruled himself out.
That was a good.
That was a good thread. I don't care what anyone says. That was a good thread.
That was very funny. I'd go after Worsfold. I'd go after
Terry Wallace.
Homer Thompson.
The list manager.
I'd go,
He'll
yes,
turn their list around.
Terry Wallace.
Westford's
Yeah.
really knocked them back.
Danny Frawley,
Jason Ackermanis.
Brett Ratton.
Brendan Bolton.
Wouldn't go to
But
Carlton.
he'd bring the smiles to Carlton at least.
I'm pretty sure
It'd be
he's
a nice
ruled
change
out
from
already.
House's gruff nature to have a, you know, they'd go from Mark Stevens, go from trolling in the press conference to getting a, hi, I love football. Yeah,
I love coaching.
coaching's great. Even when it's Carlton, you can't win a game.
I like footballs. Yes, I am good. I am good at footballs.
Just a good story, don't you reckon?
1 5 from 5 at Hawthorn. 1 from 22 at Carlton. It's great. Wonder what it would take to wipe. I reckon Carlton's probably the only thing that could wipe a smile off Brendan Bolton's face. Anything else on that coaching thing?
Well,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, no matter who they get, they're Carlton, then they'll always be fucked.
Anyway,
it.
the new high tackle rules came in this week, and we'll just quickly go around. Did anyone notice a difference? Did anyone like the difference? Personally, I
I noticed a small difference in the North Sydney game.
I noticed fucking Michael Walters was ducking like a Selwood, and
he still got a free kick.
He
That
got
pissed me off.
freeze.
Shut up, Penal, you
But-
dickhead.
But even though it went against us, I like the fact when Taylor Hunt ducked his head, he got done. He didn't get a too high free kick. He actually got done. It happened in a few games. Lindsay Thomas ducked his head and he didn't get a free kick. Those things
Well,
actually.
I noticed Lindsay Thomas didn't duck. This might have been a different one, but he didn't duck. Got actually taken high, cleaned up.
Oh, yeah,
and,
that one too. Yeah.
didn't get a free because Razor Ray, who else, said, "Oh, you ducked your fucking head."
Yeah, I
Because
saw that
Razor's
one.
a dipshit.
Did we hear about Swallow? Actually, we'll go back to this. Swallow reckons. I think it was Swallow or North player said that if Razor Ray was a player, he would have got weeks for running into Demont.
Well,
Yes,
he
I
could've.
saw that.
was
Saw
so
that.
fucking clumsy. If I was a player, I would have berated him on the spot.
But how do you come off second best in the contest with Razor Ray?
Well, if you don't see it,
Razor
coming
Ray
and he
sniped
flicks you
him.
right in the door.
He just lined them up and went boom.
He's not a St Kilda player. Like Razor Ray's got no reason to hate
Well,
him.
he weighs like 50 grams.
Yeah.
So
there's a reason
how do you just bounce off him?
I think we're seeing Demont's a little bit, you know, he might not be that hard considering he beats up cabbies. That's when he's tough, and he comes off second best with Razor Ray.
Yeah, so
He's
Is
no,
he a
he's no
captain?
Kanye Turner.
Is he held accountable if he ends up breaking his jaw?
Probably
AFL
not.
will always
It could have
say
happened.
It's his job to get
When
out.
is any umpire held accountable for anything?
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Barely
well,
ever.
for a player injury.
Probably not. I mean, you barely get the AFL to pay their
Yeah,
fucking medical bills.
If
An
you
umpire-
reverse roles, if that was Dumont running
Right.
into the umpire, he'd get weeks for that.
Yes, of course he would.
No, it already happened once this year. An umpire injured Puopolo by running into him, and Puopolo missed a week because of it. And nothing happened. So no duty of care if you're an
So you
umpire.
trod on him and he didn't notice that he was there. You know, it's like squashing an ant, really, isn't it?
Ha
yeah,
ha.
but you can't go after umpires because without umpires we don't have a game.
Correct.
So
We can't
you know,
ask for greater umpire professionalism, which can only happen if they actually.
I'm sure
get
someone
us
can build a
time.
fucking robot that does a better job of umpiring than these maggots.
oh, listen to you.
We get R2D2 umpiring.
Plugger will still hate him.
No, that's what you need. Totally
You
objective
got R2D2
interpretation
trying to
of the
throw the
rules.
ball in from the boundary line. It just wouldn't work.
Unbiased, unflinching, unwavering. Like I don't know why they haven't done it yet.
Anyway, let's move on to the questions. And, well, we already kind of answered the one which...
This isn't the questions, it's teach mail, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, well, no, we asked about the bandwagon for him. But no, we've got... Do any of us rate the Adelaide Crows now they've had a win in Melbourne? This one's from You Don't Know Jack.
No.
No.
No,
They-
not
they-
the way they won.
Let's take it back a step. They beat Carlton by 9 points.
Yeah,
No, you don't get rated based on that.
No, doesn't matter where
Exactly.
you do it. No.
Yeah, Penal's got it.
And this one's from Jose. What's more concerning, Penal's tipping or the Bombers? After Penal tipped, who'd Penal tip?
I got 6 out of 9 because I changed my tips when something happened because I didn't tip St
You
Kilda.
couldn't be
Sorry, I had
going-
all the teach.
You
Yeah.
tipped St Kilda, you fuckwit. That's-
Yeah, no,
yes.
I tipped St Kilda on the Monday, but I couldn't tip against my team on the
Yes.
Friday. I'm
What's
too
more
gooey to do
concerning?
that.
I would say Penal's tipping is more concerning because that was fucking ridiculous.
Yes.
Hey, it makes for good radio
No.
play.
Shut up, bitch.
The fucking master of changing your tips. You can talk.
Yeah, you're like the only person who can't comment on his tipping. Does anyone else want to weigh in on that?
No.
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 Let's go to this week on the Bay. Thread of the week. I'm happy to nominate one that didn't come from the Bay. And this could be a couple of threads, but I'm going to stick with the Brad Scott week on the West Coast board, which is always great fun. Some great gifts in there.
They've been lazy this year. I mean, it was still good, but previous years have been better. I
But
think.
it was still better than anything we had, I think.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I got to say, although this may not count, but I reckon Plugger bumping his How's Ross line thread
That was good.
Yeah.
after the Richmond's victory. The funny thing is, he has no right to do it because Freo are like
Okay.
1 and 9, but he still got bites out of it.
Oh,
It
he
was
got
fantastic.
so many. It was yes. I'm happy to
That was my.
I'm happy to back you up on that.
It was either that one or the
Okay.
Essendon
Yeah.
supporters say darndest things, which went full crazy this week. Some of the things, but Plugger's thread was just genius.
Penal, do you have anything you want to add? There's a thread.
For the week, nah.
Not from the
agree
main
with-
board. Power rankings were funny this week.
They were because Chunky Chicken keeps getting owned by everyone.
Chunky Chicken, he has some weird bank that he goes to.
He apparently gets fucking 12% interest per year.
And also Roby's latest rankings just played into that with Carlton being ranked above Norf for this week.
Gold Coast the fucking second.
Roby's fantastic. Gold Coast is second in the power rankings. They're also last on the CPR contaminated power rankings, otherwise known as the AFL ladder. But I'm on Plugger.
Yeah, the bumping of the thread was brilliant.
That was good.
We're
Yeah.
with Plugger.
Yeah, I'd go with
Right.
yeah.
Stand
And
by,
for
Plugger.
once Plugger gets a win in that thread. Flog of the week. What do we?
I'm gonna nominate Blood Ret, and this guy's normally a really good poster, one of the better value Swans posters out there. But his thread, Daysid's Hawthorn last one an away game. That not for the OP, but for the fucking hodgepodge level of backpedaling and commitment to a almost backfired thread, because he got I think Super Sub and Short came in there and kind of dismantled his argument, but he was showing hodgepodge-like commitment to the cause, and sometimes you need to know when to back down from a lost battle. So that's why.
Who else? Anyone got anything else?
No way. I'm not agreeing with Penal there. I think Croat Tiger. Is
Tiger,
the,
boys.
He had a good week. He started that Bruce Jenner thread. That was like the best thread he's ever made.
Yeah. But he's come across as a massive wanker, and
How's that
so
any
Croat
different to any other week?
Tiger for me is the flog of the week.
I guess a good week by Tire Boys' standards is still a bad week in general.
I'm gonna nominate Craffles for his Essendon milk.
Oh yes, Craffles.
Yeah, but I reckon
Yes.
just trying too
Where
hard
he
to
said
mount.
fuck off Essendon, fuck off James Gwilt, fuck off Bell Chambers, fuck off Melksham, but there was no fuck off
The
her.
hell? James Gwilt is like their best player. He was the only one who fucking
Is that
gave
the
a shot.
Was that James
Italian
Gwilt's second
for I
game
will
for the year? He's
stand
getting
the
told
throats
fuck
and
off like he's Jose.
make them eat it.
No,
0
Craffles
goals
for
and a
me.
half.
Yeah, was Craffles the one that spammed a bunch of pictures that make no sense and got a day off because of it?
Not sure. Don't think it was.
Or was that Con D?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
that would have been Condé. He's an idiot.
Yeah,
No,
I
He's not
confuse
relevant
those two
enough
because
to
they're
get-
both spam flogs.
He's not relevant enough to be
I'm
flogged.
changing my vote. I'm going with Starburns for Craffles.
Yeah, I'll go with Crackles.
Graffles.
Flog of the week for Craffles. All right.
Right.
Last week's poll. New Skype name for Penal. 2.9% said Penal Ruffhead. 0% said Penal Rioli. So Bruce doesn't listen, obviously. 20% said Goo. 22.9% said Teach to Penal. 25.7% said Penal Leak. And the winner with 28.6% said Penal for Jack Watts.
I noticed Goo came into that thread and said, "No penal, you can't take my name, and if you do, I'll get Ruffy onto you."
Goo is the gift that keeps on giving. And I know exactly what I just said there, and I'm okay with it. Let's go to next week's games. Only the 6 games, but there's some good ones. Friday night, the Puffers versus the Concerning Cats. This could be good.
Where's this being played?
At the Pufferfish HQ, the Pufferfish tank, we'll call it.
Fishbowl.
We will get our fucking heads kicked in. Port
He
Adelaide.
went first.
He just wants to get it out of the way because he's so depressed.
Yeah, that's
about
how
it.
much he thinks they're going to get their heads kicked, and he went first. I'm on the Puffers.
Yeah, I might go with an upset. I'm going to go with Geelong.
Teachers of little faith, Geelong will smash the Puffers.
Tipmaster Penal says Port by 3 goals.
Next game, look, I think Gold Coast Freo at Metricon. We all expect the Purple Puffs to bounce back, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Purple Buffs.
Yeah,
Easy.
Puffs.
This
Put
is a
polarization.
top 4 clash, 2nd versus 4th in the power rankings. But I think 4th will upset 2nd, Fremantle to win.
West Coast Essendon at Domain. Look, I think West Coast is going to get back to their skiing ways over. Essendon is shit house. And I think we're seeing just how bad their list and their coach is.
Essendon are fucked. Yeah, West Coast. Easy.
Kennedy to dominate for the X's.
Yeah, Kennedy to really bring things back for the X's. That should be good. He'll be playing on...
Fletcher.
Essendon's key backs are actually alright, but their midfield will get so badly slaughtered that Kennedy will probably kick 7 or 8 anyway.
As long as Pritis hits a target.
Oh, he will. I have faith. Hopefully, Jab Watson plays. I'm looking forward to the booing if he does play. And hopefully Luke Darcy isn't there to call him so brave.
Speaking of the booing from the Freo
Darcy.
supporters was West Coast like on Friday, and Richmond actually, after they sung the song in the rooms, actually let out a big boo.
And they gave Cav the Bronxies, the Freo fans, very feral. You
Is
can't...
they really?
The
Did
best
they give
player
out
in
the
their
Bronx?
history, and they're giving him the Bronx cheers because he took a mark. Like, as a West Coast supporter said in the match day thread, Nat Nui doesn't take a mark for 2 years and they don't Bronx him. Pav doesn't take one for 2 weeks and bang.
They eat
Very-
their own.
Fuck.
Very poor form.
They're
Freo
getting
fans.
impatient.
Especially you, Jose. Fuck off, Jose.
Fuck off, Jose.
North versus the Colas. This should be a good game at Etihad on the fast track.
Taboo or not taboo?
Boo.
I tell you what, if he swings around to my section of the stadium, I'll get up and point at him.
Are you sure it's wise to do that when you were the only person in the bay?
North. I'm going North.
This is a pain in the arse tip because you expect Sydney to win, but you just know
North could
North.
very well win.
No, North
Yes.
North aren't being North this year, so Sydney will win because Sydney should beat them. Yes.
North have been North for the last 2 weeks. They fucking dropped a game that they should have won from 40 points up, and then they won a game that no one gave them a chance. Well, they weren't that badly outsiders, but most people were tipping West Coast, so North have been North.
I'm going to play Roby on that, say the conditions or some shit with a reason. Like a Brad Scott coaching. Sydney for me.
Sydney.
The retirement of Bo Waters meant...
Bo Waters retired a year ago.
yeah, that's fucking Roby logic for you.
North. Go North.
I reckon that Etihad, it's North's game to lose.
I won't be watching this, though, because North's jumper got to me and Richmond aren't playing this weekend, so I'm going to go watch Jurassic World instead. So, yeah.
What fucking sellout club, disgraceful.
Are they gonna come out to like Jurassic Park thing?
LOL, North!
What the fuck is that? Shut up, man.
Hopefully Wait can get his T-Rex arms out. Collingwood versus GWS. This one should be a good game too. Another good game at the MCG.
Very.
Ooh, yeah.
Collingwood just. They've
Gonna
got
have,
enough.
yeah, gonna have to go with Collingwood. Just.
If you compare Collingwood to last year and you compare the Giants to the Suns last year, this is round about the time that both teams ran out of puff.
Yeah, but Collingwood don't have Clinton Young in their best 22 this year. So,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying both teams are set to slide if you base on last year's record of the Gold Coast and of Collingwood. Both teams started their plummet out of the top 4.
It will be very interesting. I just think Collingwood just.
I'm convinced by the
Collingwood.
Giants, and I'm still not quite convinced by Collingwood. So the Giants for me. Cloke probably back to his shitful kicking.
I reckon Giants because they have the forwards. They will kick a good score compared to Collingwood's defenders, and their midfield is better than Collingwood's.
Cloke to do his head in this week, trying to work out just how many goals he kicked, trying to get up to 7.
Oh, kick it at me.
Last game should be a close one. It's at Etihad, St Kilda versus Melbourne.
Ooh.
I think St
Wait.
Kilda on the fast track.
We play well at Etihad.
And Melbourne don't.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no Melbourne supporters won't be there either.
I'd definitely tip Melbourne if it were at the MCG, but I think Etihad might just tip it in the Saints' favour.
Josh Brewster kicks 7.
Yep, Saints for me.
St Kilda.
How many marks will Jack Watts drop?
Well, that's assuming he plays. He might have a pea heart and talk with his coach and go, "Oh, I don't think I should play this week."
Might be too embarrassed after that awkward queef.
Well, at least I know what the cover's going to be this week.
He's probably scared of Montagna or something like that.
He doesn't even have Milne there anymore as an excuse to drop himself.
Yeah, so that's everything. This was the vlogcast for round 11. Starburns joined by Cooksen.
Goodbye.
Penal,
Toodaloo.
Dan,
Yeah.
and Teach.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.